Hello everyone listening to this recording. Thank you for tuning in to learn more about San Gabriel Valley Habitat for Humanity and the specific affordable homeownership opportunity. This presentation was given live and in person on June 13th and 22nd in El Sereno. We understand that there's a long history in this neighborhood among several residents, businesses, and government organizations, including Caltrans and the City of Los Angeles. And now that we are part of the landscape here as a nonprofit, we would like to explain how we will be moving forward. Our goal is to increase the number of homeownership opportunities in this community. In the next 15 minutes or so, I want you to understand what our Habitat homeownership program eligibility requirements are, the process to apply, and how to stay in touch with us as we continue to open screening periods for future homeownership opportunities. This is only the beginning of a likely 2+ year project where we will sell between 15 and 25 homes. This will include homes that have already been built but need substantial renovations after years of being boarded up, and new construction homes on currently empty, vacant lots. The homes will be from 1 bedroom up to 3 bedrooms, all with affordable mortgages we're anticipating being around $200,000. These homes will also come with certain restrictions. These will likely be that the home must remain owner-occupied, as in you cannot rent out your home. There will also be long-term affordability terms and resale restrictions that limit who and how much you can sell that home to and for at a later time. A few things to keep in mind. We are one of 17 approved organizations that submitted applications to tackle housing needs in El Sereno over the next few years. Our program is specifically aimed to increase the number of homeownership opportunities in this community. I will be talking about the process for qualifying for this first batch of Habitat homes that will be available for sale in the upcoming months. These specific properties will be 1 or 2 bedroom homes. There will be future opportunities for additional homes, including 3 bedrooms, to accommodate households of up to 6 people, both here in El Sereno and in other local cities we are working in, like Baldwin Park. We are working to increase the supply of homes we will eventually sell to accommodate as many different household sizes as possible. Please remember, we still only have a very limited number of homes available to sell, so keep checking back in with us for future opportunities. Since our founding in 1990, we've sold homes to 94 families. All families who have purchased a home through our homeownership program have had a 100% success rate with 0 foreclosures or defaults. Charity Navigator has ranked us the top 1% of nonprofits, with 96% of all donations going to build and repair more homes. We are one of 1,200 Habitat for Humanity affiliates across the country, and our name is San Gabriel Valley, or you will see SGV, because we serve San Gabriel Valley. We believe that housing is central in helping everyone thrive. It plays a key role in positively influencing a family's education, employment, and health opportunities. For us, that means providing affordable, first-time homeownership opportunities to those who might not otherwise be able to afford purchasing a home on the open market. So what makes becoming a Habitat homeowner special? First, it's important to know that Habitat does not give away houses. We make them more affordable. We sell affordable homes to qualified, first-time, low-income homeowners. The key aspects of our program are that approved homebuyers at time of purchase qualify for a monthly housing payment that includes your monthly mortgage principal and interest, property taxes, and homeowners insurance at approximately 30% of your gross monthly income. For a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at below market interest rates. The program also supports a low down payment and minimal closing costs. For those of you who are number-oriented, an example would be if your eligible income is $60,000 annually, divided by 12 months, would mean $5,000 in monthly income. 30% of that would equal $1,500. So it would be $1,500 a month to own your own home. Compared to the open real estate market, for say a house valued at $800,000, you'd be looking at double, if not triple, that monthly payment amount due to the higher required mortgage loan and interest rates, on top of a standard 20% down payment, plus anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000 in additional closing costs due at time of purchase. So how can you purchase a Habitat home? In order to purchase a house from us, you need to qualify for a mortgage with our lender. The Habitat program is able to do all the things I mentioned a slide earlier, like keep your initial housing payment at 30% of your income, an amount recognized as affordable by federal and state guidelines, but you still have to qualify for a loan with our banking partners. We then use donations, volunteers, and subsidy programs to help keep our costs down and fill the gap between what an eligible buyer is able to pay for a mortgage and the appraised value of that home. So let's start with income. We are a low income program, which means there are maximum income limits for the entire household. These limits are set annually by the federal government. Your household must meet income limits for your entire household size. On this table, it shows household sizes from 1 to 4 for our 1 to 2 bedroom homes. This current opportunity includes households up to 4 because federal regulations allow a maximum of 2 people per bedroom. If your household is larger than this, as I mentioned earlier, we will have future screening periods for larger homes, both in El Sereno and in neighboring cities. Please don't be discouraged, but be sure to check back in with us in the future. We also have a minimum income requirement based on the ability to afford monthly mortgage payments at an amount not considered a high risk for default. According to recently published data, the median annual income in El Sereno is $69,000. Our minimum income, set at $59,000, reaches below that amount to serve households making less than even the average income for this neighborhood, without putting people in a risky situation of purchasing a home they can't afford to maintain into the future. So if you are a household of 2, you must make between $59,000 and $88,800. If you are a household of 4, you must make between $59,000 and $110,950. Also, your liquid assets must be at least $15,000 to show that you are ready to take on the financial responsibility of homeownership. This amount will be used to cover your down payment and closing costs, with a portion remaining in the bank called reserves. We require stable and verifiable income and assets, showing the ability to pay not only a monthly mortgage, but also a down payment and closing costs, with reserves left over for all your other living costs in case of emergency funds and so forth. Remember, there are additional costs, both initial and ongoing, to purchasing a home, like moving, buying furniture and appliances, maintenance issues like hiring a plumber or electrician, and more. In fact, a study from last week states that in California, the average family spends $18,000 a year on home maintenance costs alone. If you're not sure what your total annual household income is right now, that's okay. Now is the time to check your last year's tax returns or pay stubs and benefit letters. If you end up submitting a full application, we will walk you through all the required documents needed and explain how we calculate your annual gross household income and assets. Next up is credit requirements. We will look at credit reports for any applicant and co-applicant. You'll need to have a minimum 660 credit score. You cannot have filed bankruptcy in the last 7 years. You cannot have any open judgments or collections. You must have a history of on-time payments, and your debt to income must be less than 45%. If you don't know your credit score, you can get a copy of your credit report online for free at freecreditreport.com. There are also apps and websites often connected to banks or credit unions that will show your score and offer educational classes to walk you through how to improve your score. The debt to income ratio is important because while we believe that homeownership uniquely offers safety, security, and stability, it is debt that will be added to your current budget debt and daily life. We will not add debt, even good debt, if you're already overextended, which is considered spending over 45% of your income on debt payments every month. If you have questions about your debt to income ratio, we will calculate that during the application review process, and we have posted more information about credit and debt in our frequently asked questions. As a reminder, it is very possible that your monthly mortgage payment will be less than your current rent, which would improve your financial situation. Finally, we also have general requirements for the program. You must be a first-time homebuyer. This means you can't currently be on title for any property now or within the last 3 years. There's a full definition of this on our website. You must be a permanent resident or U.S. citizen. There is federal funding associated with this particular program that holds this requirement. And you must have a willingness to partner with us, because approved buyers partner with us to complete pre-purchase requirements, including sweat equity hours and homebuyer education. I'll explain more about this means in just a few minutes, but first, let's talk about how and when to apply. Here's the application process and estimated timeline. First, you will submit an online screening form, otherwise known as an intake form. When you submit an intake form, you will share basic information about yourself, including your name, current address, number of people in your household, estimated household income and assets, and we will confirm that your household meets our basic program guidelines. Submitting a screening form does not guarantee qualification for our program or an invitation to submit a full application. We often receive hundreds of eligible intakes when we open our screening period, and we only have a certain number of slots to fill. This process will take place from July 1st to July 31st, 2024. Again, that's July 1st to July 31st. This is not first come, first serve. We recommend everyone submit an intake form during this time period so that you can be entered into our processing system. Qualified intakes who submitted a screening form at any point during our month-long open screening period in July will receive an invitation to submit a full application based on a random processing order. That means that we take all the eligible intakes, which could be hundreds, we randomize them, and then we start notifying applicants so they can submit a full application for review. 50% of the homes we sell will be given a preference for those who currently live or work in El Sereno. You'll be able to note this on your intake form, and we'll verify this during the application review. This full application review process will start in August. Only complete applications will be reviewed by staff to determine eligibility. We will assess applications for income, assets, creditworthiness, and general eligibility. We will also complete credit, background, employment, and tenant verifications. Applicants approved for the program will sign a partnership agreement and begin completion of pre-purchase requirements. If you are not eligible at this time, or we fill all our spots in this batch before we get to you, you will be able to submit another intake form during any of our future screening periods. For those who do sign partnership agreements and become eligible buyers in this program, we require 250 hours of sweat equity per adult on the mortgage loan. That's with a maximum of 500 hours per household. The completion of sweat equity can take anywhere from 3 to 12 months. This entails volunteer work at our construction sites, restore locations, or even our office or community events. These hours are meant to encourage knowledge about the homeownership process and strengthen the partnership between eligible homebuyers and SGV Habitat. Buyers must also attend 25 hours of homebuyer education workshops. You may volunteer at any of our open locations now, and if you become an eligible buyer, you can count those hours towards your sweat equity requirement. Please understand, however, that volunteering before you're selected is not an eligibility requirement, nor will it affect your application with us. We're hoping to find eligible buyers in this first screening batch to start in the program for as many homes as we're able to. This is largely dependent on timelines outside our control, like closing our own escrows on these homes, construction and permitting schedules, zoning changes, and other city regulations. We're currently planning to open at least 3 separate month-long screening periods for people to submit intakes over the next year. We're doing this so that people have multiple opportunities to get to the top of the pile, to better prepare for the program, and to allow us to make updates to, for instance, the maximum household sizes to include 3-bedroom homes. Please stay tuned for future opportunities if you're not called to submit an application in this first round. Submitting an intake form in July will not impact any future screening periods, as we'll restart the process fresh each time. That is our program and the upcoming process. I would encourage anyone still interested in this opportunity to submit an intake through our website in July. Please use this contact information to reach out if you have any questions. Thank you for listening. We're looking really forward to working with you.